we dedicated it 2 weeks ago, October 16th.
Concept of the Mountain of Despair and the Stone of Hope. Then we were hired to come in and actually implement their concept. 20% drawing, so it was just almost a piece of paper with nice pictures and everything, but nothing else was in place. All of the planters and the landscaping and how the plaza would work with these three pieces, none of that was laid out. Our architects had just finished the World War II memorial, so we had the detailers, we had the project architects, so we were the natural choice to really come in and do this. And we also had a really good construction team, which included the contractors who did the World War II memorial. Lisa and I actually wrote notes to our daughters. We both have daughters. For 50 years when they open it, they'll be able to get a letter from us and how we felt as being a part of this memorial. Lisa has run the entire job from beginning to the end, so we're so proud of her.
Thank you. So what we went through from design concept to the point where we started finalizing the design, going through the commissions, Park Service, and then we finally got our permit December 16th, 2009 to start construction. DC doesn't get a whole lot of snow, but that winter we did. We had a huge snowstorm like the next day, and then in February we were almost shut down for 2 weeks. But we were still met our schedule out here on site. And we finished in August 17th was our substantial completion date of 2011, this past year. And as you know, the dedication had gotten postponed because of natural disasters, right? And then we dedicated it 2 weeks ago, October 16th. So you can enter into the memorial from 4 sites. This is the main entrance, which gives you the full concept effect that the design team and the owner wants you to feel, which is, as Daryl mentioned, you know, we have these 2 mountains, and from Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, out of a mountain of despair comes a stone of hope. So beyond on the stone of hope, as we walk down there, you can see carved, that's the concept of the memorial. And then once you get inside, on either side of these large planters, there are the inscriptions, which make this the living memorial. All the quotes will speak to us and future generations, and they're all based on the principles of hope, justice, democracy, and love. And there's 8 quotes on this east wall and 6 quotes on the west wall. There's no rhyme or reason to that, and they're not in any chronological order. It's just a matter of the size of the quote and just the geometry of the wall. Also about the landscaping, all of these trees on both of these planter berms and along the tidal basin are cherry trees, which obviously is something that people come to DC to see, but it also is, they bloom at the time of Dr. King's assassination, so this will really like come alive during that time.
When you're going through the Mountain of Despair, you'll see like grooves inside of the wall, and that's to symbolize the struggle of the civil rights movement and pulling that stone of hope out. And when you get around on the other side, you'll see Dr. King sort of stepping out of the stone of hope, signifying that there's still work to do. And our architect sort of situated the stone of hope so that you could see the Thomas Jefferson Memorial when you walk through, which is a real pretty vista.
The stone from the sculpture is from China, in the southern region of China near Xiamen,
which is near Master Lei. We found that that the stone is more malleable the faster you work with it when it comes out of the ground.
When we went there, he had the full-size sculpture of clay of what he thought it should be, but then he also had 3 full-size heads of different expressions already done. And then they brought those images back to the King family and asked them to look at which one they felt most looked like his father, and it happened to be the same one that the sculptor originally had in his mind of what Dr. King represented.
Because I went to China to see this before he broke it down into the 159 pieces. Because we were responsible for bringing it to America.
Right. And they're huge pieces of stone. stone. The largest piece, which is Dr. King's from here to here with his arms, is 28 tons.
Wow.
And I think we laid the first piece October 26th last year, and then it was finished erecting and final carving, and they left in January. So it came here already carved to an 80% finished piece.
I want you all to meet D'Artagnan. He works for us too, but he was here when Stevie Wonder came out and he wanted to touch Dr. King's face, and he had to get him up in a cherry pick so he could touch it. So D'Artagnan was on the front of the Washington Post.
I asked him what he was sensing, and he said, well, he has felt a sculpture before, but the bigger it is, the more he can sense of how the face is shaped. And not only that, but he was thinking of the emotional times when he was young and protesting marches and all the things he heard. So it was a very emotional time for him and me.